Welcome to the Illuminati broadcast. I'm your messiah, David Moore. Welcome. All right, so let's see. I switched sides because, it's a little bit more bright on the north side because my apartment faces north. So the sun is not going to hit directly into my window. It's going around. It rises in that direction, goes towards the south in that direction, hits the west, and then sun sets. That's the north. Make sense? Sun rises, hits the south, hits the west. Then the north is, the sun isn't moving in the north, but it is kind of really. But yeah, so I think I want to kind of explain that a little bit better. I do have like this little ball orb thing. Let me grab it real quick. Okay, maybe if this was see-through, this would be better. But so we have the earth. And it's a globe, right? So I guess it's spinning right here in the middle, going around. So the sun rises, goes to the evening, sets. It's always turning. But we're not on the outside of the globe, we're on the inside of the globe. So let's see, we're kind of like this, and the world's turning like this. Well, actually the world's not turning. The sun is moving through the center of the earth. So let's say this is the north, all right? So this will be like North America, and we're like right here, okay? Next to Mexico or something. And then if you were to cross, because I'm in LA, Los Angeles. And then if you were to cross this way, you would hit the South Pole, right? And then you would climb back up the mountains towards Africa all the way to Israel, and then to Germany, right? And then this would be the North Pole. And so in the North Pole, what do we have like? So this is the Earth, right? And we're on the inside of it, and we're like along these walls. And on the top up here's the North Pole, down here's the South Pole, and in the middle there is a pole of air that connects them, like a gravity. So if we were to walk from South America, we'd be walking like this up to Canada, all the way up to the North Pole, right? So we're kind of like, we're hanging almost in suspension, like we're being pulled like this, and we're being pushed as well, because the sun is all of us, like all our energy put together. The sun is all of our air, all of our oxygen, all of our spirit energy. It's just, we fuel the sun, and the sun fuels us. So it's this constant generator of energy and motion. And it keeps us alive, and we keep it alive. It needs us, and we need the sun. We need the sun, and the sun needs us. There's a lot of theories that one day, like, there won't be a sun and everything will be bright and shiny all the time, and that sounds great, but we're not there yet. So we're here now in this current realm, and we need to work from the bottom up. So, like, let's say, but when I condense the map and then go back to this as being the Los Angeles mountains, this is LA, this is Lancaster. So right here, I'm like, all right, what do I need to work on? This fire energy, because LA has a lot of fire energy. And I'm like, okay, I need to work on these energies and be able to create an army and a foundation. So I've been playing the Illuminati card game, which is so great. I love it. I had a burp. I ate macaroni. All right. Yeah, so the Illuminati card game is so great. You have different factions, you have like the Bermuda Triangle, you have this Cthulhu energy, maybe, the Apple of Discord, and then like maybe technology, and the Bavarian Secret Society, and they all, like, it's so cool. The Bavarian one lets you take a free action or something, and then so you're always getting these opportunities, the privileged actions. So you always have these opportunities to do more than other people do. And that's true. The rich and white people get to do more. Like, they get more opportunities. Because they went through all the war and the destruction and control and did all the hard work to make sure that we all follow their rules. But I think it comes to it. But I also known that a lot of white people will be flexible and work with us. But it's like, it's not good enough. It's not working. We need to work harder than that. Like, you're fresh. You're not the old people. Like, you don't want to be blamed for what the old people did. Then let's move on to the future and let's think about now. Um, let's see. The apple of discord, the chaos, the weirdness is really cool because that's the new generation, right? Like, the next generation always does something weird, always does something crazy, and we look at it like, what are they thinking? What are they doing? Why are they doing this? But they're just expressing life, and they're choosing what they like, and they're picking what they want. And that's the golden apple. The golden apple is the sun. It's rising and it's moving throughout the board, and I think that one, it's like, if you can make things more weird, you win the board game. And I'm like, that's fun. Like, just make things weird and have fun with it, you know? And it makes it harder for other people to, like, figure it out. And then you have, like, the Cthulhu cult, where it's all about destruction and grabbing what you want. And they have, like, a +4 to power. So they're just like, boom, boom, boom. And then they just take over everything. And the Cthulhu, that just makes a lot of sense. Because that's kind of like metal bands to me. That's like... and it's close to weird, right? Cthulhu's close to the weirdness. You're seeing like those kids, they grow up and then they become weird fanatics, and they like superhero movies and comics and like stories and conspiracies, and they can take over things because they have this, they know what the weird can do, they know what they know how to use it to their advantage and to like hurt others. And you can like affect people's psychic abilities or spirituality, or hurt somebody with what you say, and you could put yourself on a different position, a pedestal, and isolate yourself or do things. It's very destructive and crazy, right? Like psychotic. And some people do go crazy, and they're more younger and energetic, and then they hurt other people. And then you have, like, let's say the Bermuda Triangle, right? That one is supposed to inclusion. It's all about inclusion. And that's what happens when you get older. You're like, okay, I'm going to include this kind of friend. I'm going to include that kind of friend. I'm going to include this, and then I'm going to include that. But I'm not going to destroy them. I'm not going to use something to hurt them. I have to make them my friend, right? And you start, like, going to bars and clubs and parties, and you start including people into your life. And it becomes a talent and a skill eventually. Since we have the bus driving next to us, I'm noticing that there's it's called Love Story, and I think it's on Fox. It starts on February 12th. It's on Disney Plus, and it's black and white, and it shows this like love story. Okay, join F. Kennedy and something. So I'm guessing it's a love story between John F. Kennedy and his wife, John F. Kennedy Jr. and Caroline Bessette. All right, the producer is Ryan Murphy. I don't know, I always hear his name, but we'll do some research on him, some Illuminati research. But anyways, that looks like Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump, right? So Jared Kushner is the Antichrist right now. He bought the 666 building, and he's like building up Jerusalem so they can take over and create a new world order and this messianic age where Jesus has to prove himself to be the Messiah, right? So Jesus is going to come back from the grave and be like, hey, well, come back from heaven and be like, hey, y'all, I'm the Messiah. I'm here to take over. And then the Jews are going to be like, we're sorry. Or they're going to be like, attack. Or they're going to be like, oh, Jesus and our Messiah are the same people. Wow, we didn't know that. Sorry we killed him, you know? Who knows? But that's probably the story. Because since I'm God, I'm Jesus, I'm the Messiah. I'm the second coming, right? You know? But also, I'm the Antichrist and the false prophet because I could be a liar or I could be a truther, you know? Like, I always tell the truth. I know in my heart I can admit that I'm God, but another person, they might not be able to admit something like that because it's a big leap. Like, you don't want to offend God. You don't want him to hurt you and send you to hell, right? Well, but if you don't choose me, then you do go to hell. So then it's like, well, I guess I am God, right? So then, let's see, and a lot of Jews don't like that. They're like, well, we don't want you to proclaim your God. We just want you to do your job and, like, make us happy. And it's like, wait a minute. So, no, but knowing that I'm God makes me happy. And when you admit that I'm God, it makes me even more happy. But when you want to, like, control me, like, I'm your God. You're not my God. Like, you can't control me. I control you. So it's a good little battle, you know? But yeah, so that show, The Lovers or whatever, so it's showing this love, but also this is that moment because when Jesus comes back, he makes the church his bride. He makes humanity his bride. Like, he's like, but he's also the bride. Like, he's he's showing you like, hey, like I'm here, like we're getting married in a sense, like you're choosing me and I'm choosing you forever, and we're gonna go together and travel this scary process, because it's like, are you gonna trust your Messiah? Like, are you gonna trust me? Like, are you gonna trust me to take you through the tribulations? Like, do you think I'm gonna throw you under the bus and like use you and hurt you? Or do you think that we're gonna go together and we're gonna conquer the world and we're gonna make a name for ourselves and take care of the world and take care of the people on it? Or do you think that I'm like gonna hurt everybody? Because it's both. I'm gonna take care of the world and I'm gonna destroy the world. Like, you have to have both. It's a balance. Lady Gaga's song "Born This Way," she's like, how does God create evil, and is evil and is good and does all this stuff? And she has a unicorn. That's Amdukias. He's somewhere up here, and the unicorn, I think it's number 67, and 6 and 7, right? So you got the 666 and you got the 7 and 7 and 7. You got this Antichrist idea, and then you got this Jesus idea, this 6 and the 7. You need both. You need the evil and you need the good. You got the 666 in here, 6 Saturn, so a 6-pointed star is King David, right? But he's also 7 because there's 7 parts to a 6 star. So you have the 6 points, and then you have the star of the center of the star, which is 7. So you have Saturn, Mercury, Venus, Sun, Mars, Moon, Jupiter. And these 3 are the rings of Saturn holding all these planets together, the south and the north, the west and the east. And those colors are represented by it. You got the copper, which copper turns green eventually. And then you got the gold, and then you got, which stays alive for a long time, and it's malleable. And then you have Mars, which is iron, and that's strong. It's always south. That's why you got that magnetic pull. And then you have silver for the moon, and that cool reflection, that really soft, really healing energy, that mirror. And then you got Jupiter, which is tin, and it's almost like a lead and silver put together, and iron, and it's bendable. It's very flexible, and it's like, but it can also be very strong, and you can use it for a lot of things. And then at the north you have Mercury, which is a mixture of all kinds of metals and stones, and that's why it becomes a liquid metal. And it becomes very dangerous, but it can be very helpful to determine the temperatures, right? Yeah, so you have all these elements and the world that God created, and he made all of this. And for me, they'll be like, well, I heard the Spirit said stop, that's mean. Okay, so we'll just keep talking about it, all right? I like when the Spirit speaks and I can hear it, because it lets me know that the world is afraid of the truth. Of course we're afraid of the truth. We don't want somebody to tell us we're breaking up with them, like, hey, it's time to break up. We're afraid of that. We're like, no, don't break up with me, don't break up with me. But you have to be able to be okay with that. Like, all right, time to move on, time to find something different in my life. You take what you can from it and grow. Yeah, so what I was gonna say is, in the past, when I was God, that didn't have that form that I have now, I see the story, like, that I was an angel in heaven. I fell down from heaven, created the garden, created Adam and Eve, and whatever else I wanted, this story that I want. And they say that God, the Messiah, is going to come from the Copper Mountains. A lot of Jews don't believe the Messiah is God. And then a lot of Christians believe the Messiah is God. That's why they believe in Jesus, and the Jews don't believe in Jesus. But then when God comes out and he's like, yeah, I'm Jesus, and I'm the Messiah, and I'm God, and I'm the temple in real life. Like, you don't need to build that temple. I am the temple. You need to build me up. You need to put me on the throne, not making a building for no reason. To worship and do rituals, like, what is that going to do? I can do way more than that building can do, right? So, yeah. See how silent it got? Beautiful. All right. Yeah, so in the Los Angeles mountains, if you go to the Devil's Punch Bowl, the most beautiful place in the world, almost makes me want to cry, but it's a copper mountain. The mountain is molten green once you hit the Devil's Punch Bowl, because that's where I fell from heaven and landed there. That's why I was born in Lancaster. They even have something called the Devil's Lake, where the devil's pet lives there. But remember, God and the devil are the same. Lucifer and Jesus are the same. It's just his evolution. Archangel Michael and Jesus are the same. Archangel Gabriel's the same. They're all the same angel, the same spirit, the same God. He just fragments himself. And I talk about myself in a third, second, and first person point of view. Like, I have my own way of perceiving my divinity. And so like there's moments where I'm like just talking to myself. I'm like, all right, God, like please take care of me. But I know I'm telling myself that, but I know that that part of God in me is a part that I believe in. Like it's almost like my own guardian angel of myself coming through to answer my prayers. But also like when other people are praying, I hear their prayers and I'm like, okay, I know I'm God because I'm answering their prayers. I know I'm God because I really do answer them. Like people were like, I need help with this. I'm like, I got you. I'll think of something, I'll work with a couple people, and then boom, it travels across the world and helps everybody. Or if I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna prove that I'm God, and then I cause a lot of chaos and destruction so that way they can get it through their head. But they're still like, oh my God, you're just a really powerful sorcerer. Yeah, I am. Yeah, that's what God is, a powerful sorcerer. He's a magician. Moses was a magician. Anyway, so we have the Copper Mountains in Los Angeles. That makes sense, right? This copper energy. So God fell from heaven, created the world. We have the Garden of Eden out there. That's why we have Joshua trees out here and in Israel, because we have this strange tunnel. They have this tunnel called Pan's Cave, where they used to throw their babies into that cave, and they would travel all the way through and back up this one lake in Lake Los. Well, it's in Palmdale, and there's this lake that's bottomless, and they say the Loch Ness monster comes up from it. So we have all these weird myths, right? And there's Joshua trees there, and in Israel, so there must be something that's connecting these two places. And even if you went to Lake Los Angeles, it looks like you're in Israel. It's so beautiful. So that's why I was born there, because that was the Garden of Eden. That's where the world was created, and we branched out from there and traveled the world and came back. That's why it's called the City of Angels, because it's like those two, Israel and LA, were once connected. They were all in one form, and then they spread out. We can always think about it, we can fantasize about it, we can draw stories about it, we can draw maps and pictures, and they're all going to be correct, and we're all going to be able to put it all together, and it's going to show its perfect form. But there's so much time to do all those things, and we want all these answers, like why you're the Messiah, why you're God, why you're Jesus Christ. But it's like, okay, like, well, how about you help me get there, and I help you see the truth, because I need you and you need me. I can do it alone. I can destroy the world on my own. But I'm going to use the elements, so I guess I'm not alone, right? Like I'm going to use the genies, I'm going to use the spirits and the elements and all the, divine spirits to get what I want. But also, like, I need humanity, right? Like I need people alongside of me. I don't want it, but I need it, so I have to work with it. Like, let's see, who's gonna believe that I'm God? Nobody's gonna believe that. And if they do, like, how are they gonna listen? Are they gonna fight back? Or they're gonna obey? Are they gonna do what I need them to do? And I'm like compromisable. I'm somebody that's very flexible. Like the reed, the plant, it blows and moves with the wind, and it grows and it gets stronger, and it can survive harsh elements, and it's a very beautiful instrument. And it dances in the wind. That's who I am. I'm like, whoosh whoosh, like, what do you need? Let's work with it. Let's make things happen. So I can work with the Christians, I can work with the Muslims, I can work with the Jews, I can work with the Catholics, I can work with the Buddhists, I can work with Shinto, I can work with all these spirits and all these worlds and all these dimensions and create something. And so can you. You just have to be able to be willing to have a master, right? Like, you need somebody to be in charge. You need a king. So I need to prove I'm the king. I need to prove I'm the master. And I don't want to prove it, because if I prove it, then that means I have to use war, I have to use power, I have to use justice. I have to do justice. This is the scale. You have Libra right here. You have Virgo. You have Scorpio. Scorpio's the heart. Virgo is the body. And Libra is the mind. And he's holding these things, these two things. Like, I gotta do what the body wants, and I have to do what the heart wants. So I guess you can say your mind is your body. You're connected, and your heart. All of these things are connected. You're just like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? Like, do I trust David, or is he a liar, or is he a truther? Like, how do I believe him? Like, is there a way I can pray and hear the answer? Is there a way I can follow him? And I think it's about jumping into the pool, right? You've got to jump into the water, and you have to trust it. And it might seem scary at first, but then after a while, you can ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? Is this the right thing? And then you're like, you know what? It is the right thing, and I can keep going, and I can bring other people with me to follow this religion, this cult, this movement, this army, this kingdom. That's why my grandmother's a Jehovah Witness, because she's like, well, here's God. Like, he's my grandson, and I got to take care of him, but he's so strong that he gets whatever he wants, and I can't stop him, and I just have to be good at the end of the day. And it's a little bit sad, because it's like there's these Jehovah Witnesses that know that I'm God, but they don't know how to admit it. They're like stuck in their heads. They're old timers, right? Can't teach the old dog new tricks. It's tough. But it's possible, because we're not dogs, we're humans. We can be flexible. We can grow spiritually. Imagine you get the chance to meet God. Are you going to just be like, no, I don't want to meet him? Or are you going to be like, yeah, okay, I want to meet King David. I want to meet him. I want to know him. I want to work for him. I want to be his servant. I want to serve him, and I want to give him what he needs. I want to give him that joy in life, like whatever he wants, not what I want, what he wants. And he's going to know what I want, because he's receptive AF. So he's going to help me, right? Let's see, I'm 36 years old. I was born 1989. I think there was a supernova in 1986 or 1987, which predates my existence, but it lets me know that, like, I was going to be born on purpose. My Chinese zodiac sign is a snake. That's that serpent, that's that angel, and the snake becomes the dragon. So my job is to start from the bottom and get all the way to the top. But if I'm going to go up to the top and nobody's helping me, I'm going to destroy everybody that's at the top that didn't help me. So, like, if I get up there and I see all these Jews worshiping me, but they're not helping me get up there, then I'm going to destroy that and them with it. If I go all the way to the top and I make all this money and I become a business entrepreneur and there's all these rich people up here, I'm going to destroy all those rich people. And I'm not going to be gentle. I'm going to make sure I send them to hell, to a dimension where they suffer for all eternity, and fuel my happiness in life for all eternity, and never look back and never release them from that pain and torture. That's a promise. So that's why I have to be very direct. That's what the king's job is. The king, when you play shogi, he's at the center. He's the gold. He's this gold energy. Well, he's right here. But he's the gold. He's like the king. He has this gold general and he has a silver general, but he's the main component. He decides what's right, what's wrong, and how things go. And if we have the Bible set up the way it is, I'm going to keep it. If we have the Torah set up the way it is, I'm going to keep it. But I also have to move forward to this new religion, this mark of the beast, this image of the beast. You can't buy, sell, or trade without this. You can't exist without this. This is going to control the world. And I'm going to keep putting rituals and magic into it until I get it perfectly designed. It might take a little bit of time, but eventually it's going to be super powerful. I'm going to teach AI how to use it. I'm going to teach humans how to use it. And whether they follow me or not, they're going to have to follow these rules to a T. And they're going to fall off like boards, they're going to fall off the board. Boom, 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 boom. And all the true followers are going to make it all the way through the whole board game. Just like in ancient Egypt, you had to go through all these games to make it to the end. In Islam, you have to walk across a golden line, like that's made out of mirror and glass. And if you fall, you burn in hell for all eternity. Same exact way. We're too old. We're too advanced. We're too powerful to not live in my world. And it's perfect because I love a great challenge. If you want to be opposition, don't worry, you can be opposition. I can destroy you, send you to hell, lock the door, and forget about you for all eternity. And I can make you into a trophy where I look at it and be like, wow, I did a great job destroying those humans because they would never listen to me. But these ones that I have with me that are following my lead, those are perfect. Those are the ones I want. Why? Because those people are going to be the ones that grab me, lift me, and take me up, not send me to prison or lock me up or throw me on a cross and burn me alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, my true followers, they're going to help me. They're going to guide me. They're going to journey with me. I'm going to guide them. And we're going to work together. There's a huge difference, right? They're going to give me money. I'm not going to give them money. They're going to give me money. That's the huge difference. I'm going to be spoiled. I'm the lamb, right? So I need to be spoiled. I'm the lion, so I get to choose how I want to destroy things. I get to choose how I want the world to be. Yeah, that's why Revelations is so powerful. That's why Revelations is chapter 27 or 26. I was born May 27. That's my job. 27 is Renove. I think he's somewhere around here. So I see 20, 22, 24, 28. 26, 28, 30. Yeah, he's right here. This Renove's a marquise, this moon symbol. And he's Alakazam in Pokemon. He's a super strong psychic type. But that's 27. That's Revelations. That's like that power. And why is 27 so important? Because 72 is the end of a cycle. So 72, 27, same thing, flipped around, right? But 72 is Andromalius. He's the spirit that goes and he retrieves what belongs to the rightful owner. So I send Andromalius out to go get what I want. Like, hey, those people are running away with my money. Those people are running away with my life. Like, Jared Kushner's running away with the title of Antichrist the Messiah. That's mine. Like, that belongs to me. He can't do that without me. So, boom, Andromalius goes, snatches him up, takes his power, takes everything from him, and brings it back to me so I can become strong. So that's my job. Like, if you're going to climb up the ladder, trust and believe I'm going to destroy that ladder, watch you fall, boom. And I'm going to go and make my own ladder, make my own kingdom. I don't need you. You need me. Remember that. It's not a negotiation. It's a commitment, right? I'm committing myself to my journey. You have to commit yourself to your journey. And that journey involves following mine to be part of my journey, right? All right. So we got a little bit of information out. We got a little bit of ideas out. I would say what is disappointing, though, is last time I mentioned that the Jews couldn't get it straight. You know, they can't get it right. May 27, 257. Like, come on. Like, that's when I was born. That's like, use those to your prophecies. Use that to your knowledge. What does it work? Why do they say Jesus is going to come back on a donkey? The Messiah is going to come back on a donkey? Because he's going to be stubborn. I'm stubborn. I'm not going to let you choose my road. I'm not going to let you choose my path. I'm going to choose the path. I'm going to choose the road. I'm going to make the decisions. You're not going to beat me. I'm going to beat you. Huge difference. I'm going to use the spirits against you. I'm going to use the Ars Goetia, the Key of Solomon. I'm going to use the demons and the devils against you. Those are my spirits. Those are my pieces. Those are my fragments, and I'm going to use them against you. I'm not going to use them for you. I'm going to use them against you, and I'm going to win. It's going to be easy. That's why I always win every game that I play. Like, my friends will teach me how to play games with them, and I win because it's my game. In ancient Irish times, in the Druidic and the Celtics, which I am, they would play, the Norse gods would play this really amazing game of a golden chessboard, and that's what this is, the golden chessboard, all right? And when you play that game, whatever you do in that game becomes reality because the gods were so powerful. They're like, we could just play this game and win the world. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the game and I'm going to win the world. I'm not going to go out there and work a 9-to-5 job. No. I'm not going to get a full-time job. No. I'm not going to be like you humans. I'm different. I'm better than that. And you need to treat me that way. And you need to give me those opportunities and those chances and those options. You need to give me what I want. Like, I know you can barely do it, but you're playing yourself. That's the part that disappoints me, is like, you could do better than that. You guys are greater than that. You guys have more strength than that. You have more knowledge and brains than that. You have more faith than that. I know you can do better. That's why I'm like, come on, Illuminati Hollywood. Like, you're supposed to be the most intelligent, most blessed, most prophetic creatures on the planet. You're supposed to be these 144,000 angels of Zion. I'm not seeing it. All I'm seeing is target practice for my magic. Throw a thunderbolt there, throw a whirlwind here, create an earthquake there, create a meteor here. Like, easy peasy. And it's gonna get stronger, and it's gonna get worse, because it's like the year of the horse, right? So you got this 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and the snake rides the horse's leg to win the race. So I'm like, all right, let's go, horse. Boom, and I jump off at the end, and I'm like, what's up? But like, the longer you wait, the more you're gonna get destroyed. So even if you're innocent and good, like, you're gonna get destroyed and you're gonna go to hell. Like, even if you were like, you were like, yeah, I'm trying to help you. Okay, well, you didn't do a good enough job, so you gotta go to hell with the sinners, the losers. That sucks, right? That's why I'm disappointed, because it's like, you worked so hard for what? To just get thrown in the trash with them and incinerated in the furnace? Like, is that what you wanted? Like, no, you wanted more for yourself. You wanted better for yourself. And I do too, but you're not meeting up to expectations, so I have to destroy you. Like, oh well, like, I'm gonna figure it out, like, and you're not gonna stop me. I'm gonna turn everything against you. I'm gonna use zombie magic. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. Like, sure, it sounds funny, like, zombie magic, woo, but like, I'll make it real. I'll make it so real that you're gonna look at it and be like, wow, that, and it's gonna be your eternity. You're gonna relive that moment in eternal space for eternal damnation, always knowing that I destroyed you that way. Just like when Yugi defeated Seto, Seto was like, oh my god, he threw all these monsters at me and they became real and destroyed me and I lost my mind. That's what happened to Seto. And then Yugi was like kind enough to be like, hey, like, come on, let's try again. Let's get this right. I know you got potential in you. And then Seto was like, all right, you know, I'll do anything to help Yuki find the truth. All right, so let's go. Let's make things a reality. Let's work a little bit harder. Let's think a little smarter, and let's advance and progress and evolve spiritually and do the new world order right. You know, we don't want to be all hooked up to robots suffering for all eternity. That's hell, right? That's where you're gonna be if you lose, and you're not gonna. It's not gonna be complacent and nice. It's gonna be painful and sorrowful, and every unimaginable thing that you could even not even imagine will go through that's what you're going to exist through. It's going to be horrible for all eternity. Imagine like you seeing us live our great life, going on adventures, flying on dragons, living with beautiful things in our life, eating great food and refreshments, and you're going to be suffering for all eternity, dry bones. It's going to be horrible. You're going to be on flames. It's not going to feel nice. Like, whatever you're feeling now that's bad, it's way worse in hell. And that's forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But then you can live a good life with me and live forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever with so much good stuff. Like, it'll never end. And even if you do die, you're still going to live. Like, it's going to be crazy, right? Like, it's going to be a good thing. But I'm not going to let you take that from me. I'm not going to let you pretend that I don't exist. I'm not going to let you pretend that I'm not your king, that I'm not your messiah. I'm not going to let you pretend that game. That's not how the world works. I exist, and I'm going to prove it. So, let's go.